All right, traders. So this is part two of my introductory series on trend surfing. And this is a course that I'm teaching in my site here. If you go to this QR code, you can pick up the course and the access to the community. I do live coaching in the community where I reinforce the course and do some live market updates. I teach all week. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking retail traders and turning them into pros. And so the site is called Pros Don't Panic, and the course that I teach is trend surfing. So what is trend surfing? It is surfing the 20 period moving average and learning how to surf it like a surfer would. And I grew up surfing in California, and this is just quite an applicable analogy. So let's just go over what we looked at in the first video, which is you're out here in the deep ocean. So so this is the 200 period moving average. The energy is flowing away from these averages. So the wave action is going into the beach. So this is the analogy. The 20 period moving average here, I have it in orange. You're going to be surfing this 20 period moving average. So the point of this video is to get into the detail of how to surf and how we surf this, and then know when to get out, know when to get in, and know when to get out, and treat this as a wave rather than staying in these trades forever and ever and getting just obliterated on these trades. And just knowing, okay, waves come into the beach, surfers surf them, and they get off the wave. And so you kind of start to have an analogy, or if you have an analogy where you start to think like that, then you realize I don't have to get emotional getting out of a trade. I don't have to get emotional getting into a trade. I just surf it like I'm surfing a wave. It's no big deal. So you sort of reorient yourself to the actual physical reality of energy moving through the ocean, and in real surfing. Then you say, okay, this is just energy moving through the market. I'm just going to surf it. That's it. And so this is how we would do it. So let's hide a few things and let's bring in a few things. So I'm going to hide the market, and I'm going to hide my moving averages over here. Let's see, I'll hide that one. I'm going to hide that one. Okay, let's get rid of this arrow. Now let's bring in the surfing analogy. So I'm going to show you actual surfing, and then I'm going to show you the trend. So when we surf, we sit where the waves are. So I'm going to show you on the chart, you're going to surf where the waves are. So you see these surfers are sitting there waiting for a powerful wave to come through. They don't just sit in any random part of the ocean. They sit exactly where they know the wave is going to come through. So after the wave comes through, they're going to pop up on this wave. You can see this other guy was popping up on this wave right here. So he's popping up on the wave because the wave has some peak energy right at the beginning of the wave. All waves start with a lot of power and force. So he's going to pop up on that wave, and that is our trade entry. So I've set up a process where it's a very simple 4-step process. The first step is you want to be where the waves are. So you want to be in part of the chart where the waves are. I'm going to show you that in a second. Then you want to pop up on a powerful wave, something that's going to be able to get you up on the wave. Then you're going to come down the face of the wave. This is where the energy is. You're going to come down the face of the wave relatively straight. And you're going to notice as the wave comes into this flat zone, you're going to lose your energy, and you're going to have to do something there. You're going to be forced to do something there. And I'm going to show you in the chart what happens here in this flat zone. The market's going to pull back. So you're going to pull back with the market, and you're going to come up this wave, and you're going to turn around and surf it down the face of it again. So that's what we're going to look at right now. So you're going to do a little what they call a bottom turn. You're going to get into this flat zone where the energy is gone now. You're going to have to turn around and come back up the face of the wave, and you're going to do what they call smack the lip, or come off the lip. So this is coming back up the face of the wave, and now you're ready to turn around and go back down the face of the wave. So you're going to go back down the face of the wave, and you're going to catch that second run, that energy on that second run. And then when you're done, you may do that 3 or 4 times, but we're going to at least catch it twice. And I'm going to show you briefly how we deal with that in the chart. And then as you come down the face of the wave, at least on the second time, you're going to be looking for candles that either tell you that your wave has crashed on the beach and dissipated. And then you're going to, let's see if I did this right. You're going to kick out of this wave. So this is Gabriel Medina. It's a famous photograph of him kicking out of a wave in a contest. And you're going to kick out of that wave. Why? Because the wave has ended up on the beach. So the waves are coming up onto the beach. There's going to be no more power. They will turn around, go back out, and you're going to need to do this again. So you paddle back out and you catch another wave. But continuing to ride these waves when they're on the sand, this is what traders do. They'll take trades in the wrong spot. They'll ride waves that aren't there. They'll ride what we in California, in surfing call junky waves. We don't ride junky waves. We don't trade junky waves. We sit in the right spot and we get the right power waves. Now let's look at the market. So this is Apple on a daily chart. So let's go over here and look at the trend. And how do we look at this trend, or how do we even know this trend is here? Well, we've got two things that are going to tell us that we've got a coastline. So we're going to bring in the 20-period moving average, which I have in orange. That's going to be our wave. And the 200-period moving average, which kind of sets up the ocean line. And now we've got the coastline. And now we've got our beach. We've got our ocean, our wave, and our basically our beach out here. So remember, the ocean is moving this way, or the energy is moving that way. Okay. So we talked about being in the right location. So where is the right location? Well, obviously you want to be jumping into this trend as early as possible. So where is the trend as early as possible? Where it's where the 20 period, the 200 period come together. And where they come together, in this case, they've come together and crossed. Where they come together, you're going to find a power move. These power moves are going to be the waves in the right location. So they are essentially where this lineup is. We talked about the lineup being the lineup being the place where the surfers sit in the wave or sit in the ocean and wait for the wave to come through. So this is the lineup. And we'll learn about that in the course, exactly where you want to sit. And then they're going to pop up onto that wave. They're going to have a powerful wave they're going to see. They're going to pop up onto it, and that's the trade entry. So you're going to learn in the course where to sit in the lineup, where to pop up on the wave, and that just gets you into the wave. That's not even surfing. Now, a lot of traders are going to see a couple red bars and going to start freaking out, but pros don't panic. So we know that as this trend is starting, if it's a real trend, it will have, at least you're going to go down the face of the wave here. So this is what I'm kind of getting into. You're going to go down the face of the wave at least once. It's going to pull back. You're going to smack off the lip and you're going to go down the face of the wave again, at least. So you're going to go down one time, you're going to pull back, and you're going to go down again. How do we know that? Because trends don't just quit. They don't start with power and just quit. That's one of the things that you can learn about the markets. There are certain fundamental things that just happen. These things are not random. Markets are not random. I don't care how many people you talk to, markets are not random. So if you have power coming through the what we call a set wave comes through and it's in the right location, it will absolutely play out. At a minimum of one face, pull back, smack the lip, and come back, and you've got another face to ride down. Now, this may dissipate onto the beach. Your beach might be right here, or it might keep going. In this case, the beach was right here, and that's it. And we're going to learn in the course how to analyze these candles and determine, well, that was my beach. We're done. We're off the wave. No emotion. We just analyze how to do this, and we're going to learn how to do this. It's not that hard. And you learn, well, that was my beach, and I'm done. Now, in other cases, these things might go 3 or 4 or 5 times and climb up this 20-period moving average, and we'll learn we can stay and surf many, many times. We can go down the face, come back, go down the face, come back, go down the face, come back, and then it'll finally, the wave will crash on the beach and we'll be done. All right, so let's look at current. We talked about this in the first video. I think I went over this. This is current state. This is Apple on the daily chart. This is May 23rd, 2026. This is current state. So these two moving averages have come together, and where they've come together, this is the lineup. This is where the surfers are sitting. Let me see if I got my lineup thing here close by. There it is. So the surfers are sitting right here. So right there, that is what this is. That is what this is right here. And we will learn about these, where these moving averages come together. There are certain periods or certain places along this moving average under certain conditions that we would consider the lineup. And when you want to be in the lineup to catch the wave, here's your wave right there. Big breakout, follow through, doesn't pull back much, keeps going. There's your wave right there. You jump on that wave. You don't have to ask permission. You just get on it and have fun. Now we're going to surf it. Is it a real trend? I mean, if it is a real wave, if it is a real power wave, it will continue, and it did. So it comes down the face, pull back, go down the face. It might pull back again, or it may pull back again and do another run. We're currently at this moment in time still running down the face. So this face is pretty much everything from here to here. This is the face of the wave. It has not pulled back at all yet. So it may crash on the beach right here, and we'll determine that, or it may pull back and this 20 period will continue on and it'll do another run, and we can capture some more profits. But this is real time in the end of May in 2026. But you can see if you were in my course and you were following me in the live coaching, you would have been able to find this trade, be in the lineup, catch your power wave, and be in this right now. And you will not be caught out here as this thing pulls away from the 20 period moving average, which is pulling away from the 200. You're starting to get near the beach, and something's going to happen here where it's going to pull, at a minimum, it's going to pull back to the 20. That's a natural event. And it may decide, well, we're done. We're clearly on the beach, and we're going to come back into the ocean, and we're going to set up for another wave. So this is trend surfing. And if this doesn't feel comfortable to you, in other words, if you say, well, I don't really have the confidence to really understand all that, well, that means that there's a lot there to learn. You will eventually get, if you stick with me, go on this journey with me, you will be able to approach these markets with the confidence to say, that's the lineup, that's my power wave, that's my trend, I'm going to surf this, make money over and over and over again, because these waves come through over and over. It's just like going surfing anywhere. Go to Malibu and go surfing. There's just wave after wave after wave. They don't stop coming. So there's no reason why you can't just get in at the right location, surf these, get some money, and get out. That's what I call the income engine. It'll be the core of your business. So if you are a retail trader and you want to learn how to do this, join me at this QR code right here. And that is where you're going to be able to get access to the community. I've got a course that I'm building. This is right now, I'm in founder stage. So I've got maybe 4 or 5 of my modules done right now. I'll have them done by the end of May, and I'm getting this complete course finished. But I've got an excellent price on the whole package. It's a one-time price that you enter the community with one price, and then that's it. And you don't have to. There's no subscription. You're just in. You get access to any course that I make in the future. And then you get live coaching to ensure that you know how to do this. So I teach nothing but this: how to trade, how to be in the lineup, how to enter and pop up on the wave, and then how to surf the wave and where to get out. That's it. Wave after wave after wave of income opportunity. So if that sounds appealing to you, come on this journey with me, and I will see you in the community. All right, take care, everybody.